Hello there, everybody. Dank the Muffin Man is back tonight, right, for a review of episode 15 of Man-Rurouni Kenshin 2023 version. And boy, I think I made a mistake watching the 90s version first, cause wow, they took quite a few liberties, right? It almost feels like the 90s version and the 2023 versions are in alternate dimensions for this new arc. So please bear with me because I will be showing the differences from time to time. So let's go. We start the episode with Karu forcing Kenshi, a reluctant Kenshi, to visit the Mikawa dojo, followed then by our first meeting of Rajuta and Yutaro. Now, their designs are alright, neither too jarring. However, their presence seem weaker. Uh, Rajuta appears to give off even more of a ruffian vibe than he ever did before. Um, and Yutaro, well, he's more bratty with good reason. But I'll get to that later on in the review, right? Mr. Mikawa makes his appearance, and for as short as it was, he left quite a good impression, not just on me, but on Kenshi as well, right? As the two warriors' eyes clash, as the two warriors' eyes meet, they quickly come to understand each other, which makes sense as they are both seasoned warriors. Such a meeting is probably a welcome sight for the both of them. I really do love how they show how capable this version of Karu is as at this time, and this episode is no different, right? With us schooling the members of the Mikawa dojo. At the same time, during that whole schooling with Karu, Kenshi and Mikawa discuss a recurring theme in the show, that being the slow decline of the need for the need of swordsmanship. Alright, and also the reluctancy for change in this new era. Right? However, Kenshi doesn't get a chance to even reflect on what Mikawa just said. Because guess what? Juta, he barges in the dojo requesting a duel, stating that he really does care, and I really do believe he does care about the future of swordsmanship in his own twisted way, a sentiment that is shared with his 90s counterpart, although on a less grandiose scale. Now, after Yutaro and Yaiko have a small back and forth, which is similar in their 90s counterpart, the battle with Mikawa and Rajuta begins, which ends in a quick defeat for Mikawa as Rajuta mercilessly injures him and goes for the fatal blow. Thankfully, Kenshi is there to stop it, just in time, right? Rajuta, being a traditional warrior, a true warrior, right? I wouldn't say a true warrior, just a traditional warrior. He states after being questioned by Kenshi that he indeed was going to kill Mikawa, because to him every match is taken seriously and to the death if he can. Hence why he was going for fatal blows even with the bamboo sword, because that's just he can't fight in a non-fatal way. He's hardwired because of his experiences in the Edo era. Now, Rajuta, seeing Kenshi as a skilled Rurouni, immediately challenges him to a match with real swords. However, Kenshi, in typical Kenshi fashion, declines, which seemingly enrages Rajuta, making him request that Yutaro burns the sign of the dojo. I'm not too sure if that's like I guess that's like a major disrespect in those times, which makes sense. Now, Karu showing bravery, stands up, right? She stands up in the face of this menace to fight him for the dojo. Even though she knows the chances of winning are low, she still goes through, man. Again, I love how they showcase this version of Karu. But of course, Kenshi again wouldn't allow her to partake in a battle. He knows she's gonna lose, right? He wants to protect the weak. He wants to protect the citizens around him, and if he allows Kaoru to go through with that, he won't be protecting him, right? Now, Kenshi insists on the use of bamboo sword, which Vajutta and his warrior spirit can't decline, right? As much of a scumbag as he is very strict in his code. He will not, if you set a challenge, he will accept it. It doesn't matter if it goes against what he believes in his disdain for bamboo swords. He will fight with a bamboo sword because that's he respects you enough as a warrior to follow through with your requests, even though he's gonna use extreme force. Now, this battle between Kenshi and Vajutta was brief but significant, right? As Kenshin manages to dodge a seemingly fatal blow from Ryuja using his secret technique that allowed him to slice like he would with a regular sword with the wooden sword. Now, this is a similar technique that Ryuja does, if not the same technique he does in the 90s version in his debut, in his appearance episode, right? Although it's on a much greater scale and radius, which makes sense because he uses a real sword, right? And after that whole scuffle, Kenshi he's kind of confused, right? He contemplates the motives of Vajutta, but luckily and conveniently, just in that time, he receives an invitation to Utaro's mansion, which he will use as the catalyst to answer that question, right? Now, this part right here was a shock to me after watching the 90s version, as Utaro's dad makes an appearance, which is significant as he was a major motivator for Utaro's actions. They made his actions make sense, right? They changed Utaro's dad from being, so he was supposed to be a sword enthusiast essentially, to a sword master in the 90s version, which allowed for easy manipulation of Yutaro, as he seemingly does greatly miss his father, right? Which makes sense, and he latches on to Vajutta for this reason. He sees Vajutta as his father, reborn. Although I assume that could have been for anybody who was skilled enough as a sword master. He would have immediately just latched on to them, right? Although Yutaro in the 2023 version just seems to be a spoiled brat. It makes me very curious as to how this version of Yutaro met Vajutta, because his father meets Vajutta almost the same way as Yutaro did in the 90s version, right? It is really strange. It really is. It changes up Yutaro's whole character. Not, it doesn't, but his motivations and why he does the things he does is because of his father passing away. It makes sense why he's a spoiled brat. It makes sense why he latches on to Vajutta and his swordsmanship. But now I have to wonder what it is he just seems like modern Yutaro is just like, wow, he's so cool. I want to be a swordsman too. I really want to see how it is they came to be this master and student relationship. Also, 90s 90s Vajutta, it seems more manipulating Yutaro, the way how he treats him. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he hates him, but he will use Yutaro and the land to get what he wants. This version doesn't seem as manipulative to Yutaro, but I'm looking forward to seeing how their relationship goes. Right? Now afterward, Vajutta, he questions Kenshi about the state of swordsmanship. He claims that his goal is the restoration of swordsmanship by eradicating all other incompetent styles, leaving only his style, the Shinkoryu. Now his 90s version also has an added goal on top of that, which is to create an independent nation, which I don't know how the flick is gonna do that, which just makes him seem more threatening. His goal, that goal just makes him seem more important right off the bat. But we shall see. Of course, Kenshi declines the offer to join Vajutta's ambition, cementing the rift and animosity between the two samurai. I really do look forward to seeing how they handle the differences. Which is, you know what's strange too? I looked at apparently the 90s version in the filler guide for Rurouni Kenshin states that this episode, well, the 90s version of this episode is canon, but it's not fully canon. It changes shit so much that I wouldn't even. Is it canon? The 90s version is so different. Yeah, it's canon, but at the same time, the liberties almost make it not that way, right? But I guess it's close enough. It's an alternate dimension, but a dimension that's close enough to the source material, I guess. In any case, guys, thank you for watching. This was quite the episode, and I feel like the liberties will continue to deepen as the episodes goes on. So let's see what happens. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, goodbye, so long, and farewell, goodbye. It is out.